Hello and welcome. Let me take out my teeth, should I? I, I, you drool when you take out those teeth. Anyway, hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Halloween, and this time I wanted to do something really scary, really spooky, very also advanced for me and my skills. Honestly, I use prosthetics like the nose, the chin. I have a bald cap on and used liquid latex and all of that jazz. And it was really, really fun. It was very challenging, but I'm very pleased with the outcome. And it's inspired by a 2003 movie. It's called Darkness Falls. It's about a tooth fairy who, got killed and then comes back to kind of like hound the town and payback. And also, it's inspired by a good friend of mine. Her name is Janka Kroft. She is a drag queen in Berlin. She did a similar look. I believe it was 2007. And yeah, it was definitely very gory back then and very spooky. So I wanted to do my own little twist on it. And if you want to know how to achieve this look, then just keep on watching. All right, so starting off, we use a little bit of prosthetics. This is a bald cap. This is from a brand called Wuchi. That's just the brand that I got at the store that I went to for all my special effect makeup. And yeah, I like it. It's a little bit thicker, the edges, so it's definitely harder to blend if you don't do any stuff on top. But for this look, it worked out. And I mapped out my ears, then I cut them off and rearranged the bald cap. And then after you rearrange it, making sure everything sits nicely, you just kind of like pull back the bald cap. Let's do it. There you go. And then you go in with Maron Spirit Gum, any Spirit Gum. And you apply that on all of the areas where the bald cap will touch your skin. And then to activate it, you actually have to take a cotton pad or like a Q-tip and roll it over it. It needs to kind of like get activated and tacky. Now, unfortunately, I had an accident because I ripped off one of the areas of my bald cap. Thank God I had a second one and I was able to glue down the second one because I already had a feeling that I might mess it up. So yeah, just be very careful when you handle those prosthetics because they're, you can rip them. Now what I actually did is I glued all of the edges in the front down. And then the next step I cannot recommend you doing because it can be dangerous. But yeah, I'd done it anyway. I actually went ahead and started cutting out the ears while I had the bald cap on. Try not to do this because you can cut your ear, but it's my ear, so and I was very, very, I wanted to just get that look done. So that's why I couldn't risk ripping a second bald cap because I didn't have a third one. So I'm cutting out here the ear holes while I'm still wearing the bald cap. And then to blend the edges, I take the liquid latex, also from Maron, and blend all of the edges with a cosmetic sponge. Alright, now go ahead and cover your eyebrows. I put up a link to a brow tutorial. You would follow those steps. The only thing is you would not set it with powder, but you would put a liquid, spirit gum layer on top. This will just prevent that the liquid latex that you be putting on top will rip out your hair pretty much. And then you take some cotton balls, and those cotton balls you can actually unroll them, and then I use it on my brow bone. And then you want to take liquid latex and really saturate the cotton in it and blend the edges. This will later on create a more permanent brow bow area. So I'm actually going ahead to take a second layer, and you can build it up to the thickness that you really want to. And what is really cool, once the product or the cotton is really saturated with the liquid latex, you can really smooth it out and also manipulate it. So I'm taking a spatula here and just drawing some more cartoonish looking frown lines to really make them later on appear. And then I also take the same cotton ball liquid latex technique and create more texture on my hat, because I don't want to have a smooth hat. So I'm, putting some cotton balls on, and then actually also some tissue paper. This will really give a wrinkly and irritated and almost like burned looking skin texture to the skin. Now, I also have prosthetics for the face. This is Witch Hazel, also again from Wuxi, and you take spirit gum on all the areas that the prosthetic will touch your skin, and then same technique, you put it on, you roll a cotton ball or a Q-tip, and then you place the prosthetic on top. Just be careful again, and I actually put also some cotton balls into the prosthetics so that it's a little bit more stable, because otherwise there would just be air, and when you then breathe, it kind of like the nose deflates and stuff like that, so it looks weird. So I put cotton balls in there and then place it on, and then again blend the edges with some liquid latex. And then I take again some facial tissue paper and just place it on top, because I want to have no gap between the prosthetics and my skin. And then you take more liquid latex to just blend it down. And again, if the paper wrinkles up, don't worry, that's actually a good thing, because this will create texture that we will work with later on. And last prosthetic piece is the chin area. So same thing, liquid spirit gum, placing it on, rearranging it. So I do a lot of like speed up parts in this tutorial, because I really want you to see how I place them, because it's not like you place them on and they're good. Like, you need to rearrange them, you need to work with them and move them. And then again, blend those edges to make it look as natural as possible. I find those prosthetics, they worked, but especially this chin piece it kind of like sits too wide out, I feel personally. So maybe you find a better one, but it worked at the end. I'm okay with how it looked. And then again, take some tissue paper and more liquid latex, and really take those tissue papers all over your face now after you applied the prosthetic. I take tissue paper all the way to the ear, down the neck, to really get a lot of texture to my skin. And then I take a blow dryer and just dry everything as much as possible. Let's go to the paint job. Milani Conceal and Perfect, and I take a little bit of Illamasqua Skin Base in SB01. This is just a white, because I wanted to have a really light skin color. And I take a beauty blender and bounce it all over my skin to get an even color. And then I take more of the skin base in SB01 on a 130 brush from MAC. And I will use a lot of stippling brushes and dual fiber brushes. They give a nice texture to the skin. And I'm using that white just on the high points, anything that I want to make stand out. So I'm taking it back to the head, and then I also take a lot on the brow bone to make that really pop. I will also take it a little bit on the chin and the nose and the cheekbone. So anything pretty much like you would highlight a face. And then this is one of the best investments that I did. It's the Body Illustration Palette in Extra from Krylon, and I'm using those 4 colors. This tan color, this dark violet color, this burgundy color, and then also this red color. and I'm using them, and they're alcohol activated paints, so you need 99% alcohol to activate them, and you can really thin out the color. So I'm using first that tan color on a 130 brush and just deepen all the areas that I want to have a little bit more sunken in. And then I take a smaller brush, this is the 287, and then I started to use that violet color to get more of a bruised and irritated skin texture. And it's really cool because the more alcohol you use, the softer the pigment is, and the more pigment you use, the stronger the color will be. So you can really create a lot of natural looking color to the skin. Now I'm using the same brush and the more burgundy and red color to really get broken, veiny looking skin. And yeah, I just love how this behaves on the skin, and for special effects it's definitely a must-have. And you see how I kind of like bounce my finger always after, so really blend it in. I just love how it looks. Alright, let's do a little bit of hair. So I used an old wig that I cannot use anymore because it looks just so bad. And I glue down a little bit with spirit gum, and yeah, just manipulate the hair how you like it. So I try to kind of like make it look like it grows out of my head. If you have somebody else helping you with that, that will be awesome because you cannot really see the back of your head. So yeah, but you can definitely make that stick there, and you could even put a layer of tissue with liquid latex on top. Now, let's color more. Soda Pop and Abyss from the Jaclyn Hill palette on a 239 brush, and I'm using those two colors to deepen and darken the socket. So I'm using it all over my movable eyelid, up to pretty much the brow bone. And then I also use it a little bit to shade in this frown line that I created. And I use it also a little bit underneath my eyes. And then to blend the edges, I take Jax on a 217 brush. And I will blend those edges between the darker color and the skin. But I also use the same color actually a little bit all over the skin to create more of an irritated look and shade even further. Now I take cherry lip pencil on my waterline and underneath my eyes. I cannot recommend doing this. This is a lip pencil, so it's not tested for the eye area. But I'm not bothered with it, so I'm using it. But try to find a red pencil that you can use that doesn't irritate you. And I'm using it for the eyes, and then I'm using it also on my skin to really get an even further irritated look to the skin. Now comes the fun part. I take a little cosmetic sponge and kind of like pull off some of the sponge, so I have a little bit more of a textured sponge. And then I take, this is Kryolan Fresh Scratch, and it's kind of like a blood that gives kind of like a scabbed look to the skin. And yeah, I'm just dabbing it all over a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be pretty, so don't try to make it symmetrical. Just bounce it a little bit here and there. Now, it is a very sticky product, and actually I had a little accident happened here where I by accident pulled away a little bit of the tissue. So now I had this exposed area and I was like, damn it. But I used it to my advantage, and I just put a little black shadow in there, and then I used HD blood from Kryolan. And this actually you like created such depth to the look that I really loved. So yeah, don't just, sometimes errors happen, and you know what, you make it work. And this HD blood, what is really cool, it runs, but then it sets, so it doesn't move, but it looks very fresh. It looks like fresh blood. So I used it in all the areas that I wanted to make look like very deeply irritated, and then yeah, like bloody and exposed and wounded. That's the word. And then what you want to do is, I bought some monster looking teeth. I colored them in with the same alcohol activated paint palette, and then also my costume. I popped in some white contacts, and that's pretty much it. That's the whole look. And I think it looks so cool. I definitely would get really scared if somebody would stand in front of me like that. Yeah, but those teeth and the contacts really sell the look. And then the teeth necklace that you see, I also created myself using those little beads that melt. It's like melting plastic that melts in hot water, and then you can create your own little teeth necklace. And that's it. I hope you like this look a lot and got a little scared here. And that is the end of the tutorial. Yup, kind of spooky and very challenging. I was very challenged too, but I had a lot of fun. It was definitely fun to create this little witch tooth fairy for you guys. And if you enjoyed it too, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It's really important. Share it with your friends. I want everybody to see this because I'm very happy with how it looks. And yeah, if you want, check out my other social medias. You find it in the description bar. And until I see you guys next time, I hope you have a happy Halloween and a wonderful day, and enjoy.